Hi guys, welcome back to another vlog. Oh, sun's actually out. It's been a busy morning, been driving around, dropping some bikes off, picking some engines up. But now we are finally at K-Tec suspension. This vlog's going to be all about getting a fork internal kit put into my super stock forks. I've showed you before that we picked up the Superbike forks. I'm going to get some more details on that. We're picking up a new shock as well, and hopefully have a look around the factory, see how things are made, see how things are built, and meet some of the guys that make, build and service my suspension. But first we need to give them a ring because there's three units here. One there, and over there, and I don't know which one I'm going to, so I'm meant to be.
This is the Vodafone voicemail.
We're just gonna have to go and look because I'm absolutely dying to go to the toilet as well. Imagine thinking someone else is more important than me. Not on that, is it? Absolutely not on. Anyway, I'm gonna go to the toilet. Sorry to like cut you off, but I'm bursting for a piss. Right, now that's my active nature taken care of. I'm gonna get my hat on because it's still a bit fresh. And go get the stuff. Get the keys. Terrible for leaving the keys in the van. I am. End up getting robbed. Get the bits out. Get my two fork legs. And we're ready to go. It's just not easy carrying these with the camera. How cool is this roller door look? Bit random. Oh, this is the man with all the money. This is who does all the deals and tells you what percentage you're getting and all the rest. So when you guys were asking me, is it like a money thing or why you take Olan's out and put K-Tec in? It's actually not a money thing because there's not really any difference in the cheers. Yeah. There's not really any difference in the price. Obviously all riders at different levels get different deals and stuff. But yeah, it's all a bit similar. It's just down to riders' field. Oh, there's some factory motocross bikes here. Show you in a minute.
Oh, that one. I was not bought it, but
no. And then I wanted to test that against the standard one. And then that one that I made is something from Italy.
yeah, the Argos that was
Just because he says, oh yeah, it's really good. Just wants the facts.
Yeah, what the fuck
Why
is
are
it?
they doing it?
Really famous YouTuber rides this bike called Tommy Searle. Proper nice thing. I don't think he rides for Honda anymore, so I don't know why it's here or what the deal is, but yeah, beautiful. I think he still runs K-Tec though, whoever he rides for now. How trick does it look? I think motocross bikes, when they're like trick ones, look loads better because they've like real blinged up hubs and all that sort of stuff, which we don't really have on race bikes or on like road bikes.
Yeah. You right? Doing a good job actually, doing a good job. Yeah, even though you are a little well. Come on boys, I've got a lot to do.
See you later, mate. Don't get that cardigan dirty. Tell you what, there's a lot of material there, isn't there? What are you actually doing? What, can you not get the cartridge out? Or you have it out?
Well, whoever's fitted them's not fucking pulled together
Yeah, I
properly.
probably won't see you ever again this year, so good luck. I don't go to many races. Got borders and little shits like
Ah, but they'll just tell lies, don't they? Other riders apart from me tell... Be honest, James, I don't tell lies, do I?
Not really. Don't really.
Who's the worst?
You've got
Who's the worst rider you've ever worked with, James?
Worst one I've ever worked.
Do you know what Mick reckons? Mick reckons motocross riders are easy because they're all stupid.
I
Fucking road riders are stupid.
I reckon you've read the David Knight book of excuses.
Listen to him.
That's like the Bible.
Yeah?
Gavin's got it in a minute.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Who's the worst rider?
Michael Rutter.
I'd really no.
Oh, you can't have him on the wall and then slag him off. Ah, yeah, but he's fast, wasn't he?
He's alright.
But he was fast before.
Was, but he still thinks he is.
He was
Actually
fast
sound.
before. Yeah.
He admits it now. He says I'm fucking shit. He says I'm rubbish.
Yeah. We
Can
tell
work
him.
with that.
Who's the worst rider?
Work. Fucking hell, I really have to think about that because there's been a lot.
At least it's not me straight away.
It's not
off
you
the bat.
straight away.
But I tell you one thing though, BSB riders are worse than road riders or not?
Definitely. 100%.
And then motocross worse or in between?
They're not too bad.
What is that? Is that dirt in that?
Yeah. See?
Holy
It's all quality.
Right, so basically, actually going to talk some sense now. So we've come in. It must be 35. Well, it's actually 24 degrees because I can see the heater. He's taken the full cartridge kit out of the forks, but because these are super stock forks, You're not allowed to take the... What's this outside part called? The tube?
Yeah,
No.
the outer tube, yeah.
Outer tube and
And the
leg,
stanchion,
stanchion,
And the foot.
fork bottoms.
Yeah,
Yeah. So on a superbike, like the forks I've showed you before that we've got, my superbike forks, that's all made by you guys. None of it is like a part that comes in a motorbike. But because these are all stock, all this outer part has to stay. And this is all the Olin stuff that he's taken out. Yeah. That rod. This is your actual cartridge. Yeah. What's that bit called?
You'd call that the base. Well, that's the bit the cartridge screws together, and that's
So it all sits in like that, yeah?
like that, yeah.
And which bit then moves in the... So this bit here moves in this tube,
Yeah, that's it. So that bit's screwed to the
bottom of this.
and that bit screws to the top cap, and then they both move together up and down.
Ah, right, okay. So the oil comes out through these bits then?
Well, that's
No.
where you've got a separation piston and a spring that pressurizes it. That's when you start getting into the... Basically, when that rod goes in and out
Yeah.
of the cartridge, you're displacing the volume of the rod. It has to go somewhere, and what there is in the Olins is a separation piston in there, which moves up and down, and through those little holes, you could just about make it out. But there's a spring in there which pressurizes it. So these aren't gas anymore. They used to be gas. These are now pressurized by a spring.
And does your system work the same way as that fundamentally? No.
So because ours is a through rod,
What does through rod mean more? So
it
for
means
people,
that-
like basically, if I know one
that
understand.
this rod that you can see
Yeah.
there, the chrome rod, it goes through the cartridge. So because it goes through,
Yeah.
you're never displacing the volume of the rod. It just goes.
So
in
that
one
leaves
end.
for a smoother.
It means that you've never got to displace anything. So the volume stays consistent all the time.
Right.
So it means that you don't have to mess around with any way of pressurizing the cartridge and a piston moving up and down. Basically, there's a lot of reasons for using a through rod, and I could talk about it all day, but the basics are that you're just not displacing any fluid. When you when the fork goes in and out, nothing gets displaced. But I can show you more with the cartridge we've put in.
Yeah. There's another machine here as well, which is it called a test machine or what's it?
That's
Dyno?
A dyno, that is.
Yeah, so there's a fork dyno here. This is all the working system of it, so it just works obviously off the computer and the mouse. But so this is the whole your set of forks in, obviously what should be your yokes and your spindles at the bottom. So it's all sitting in. By adjusting these settings, so you've got amplitude. Is it amplitude and speed? Yeah.
Yeah, on that
Yeah.
test, yeah.
And it tells you the temperature and all these other things, and it takes the data. So like I've said before about putting the telemetry on the bike, this is basically the data for the forks here. So you can put tracks, like so if you save a rider's data from the track,
Yeah, you can play it through there.
yeah, so he's actually got data from the TT that he's had off a K-Tec rider. They can put it into this computer and then run the forks to see what way the forks are running the same way on that machine. So pretty cool. He's stripping the other fork leg now. So he's done. Which one have you done already? Compression or are they?
The left leg, yeah, compression
So
leg
he's-
stripped out, yeah.
Yeah, he's done compression. He's just doing rebound now. And then once we get the new kit out, I'll get back to you and he can explain putting that in and stuff. Right, he's actually realised now that one of the seals is a little bit leaking, so he's going to do both seals as well.
Yeah, just stick it both in, yeah.
He's trying to figure out how to get them out. I don't know if he's actually done this
They've been
before.
put in really well.
You're slagging off these Olins technicians bad, aren't you? He's doing a bit of swearing. It's a good job there's allowed. I don't normally swear on this channel.
Oh, yeah.
I'm quite religious, aren't I? This is like an hour and a half later than I was speaking the last time. We'll get there. We're nearly ready to put the cartridge kit in, which is sitting over here. I'll get Christy to do a little like slow-mo thing of looking at them, but yeah, this is the cartridge kit that's going to go in, and this is the shock that's going to go in to this is Superbike shock, yeah?
Yeah.
This is the shock that's going to go in the Superbike. So this year the rules have changed. In Super Sport and Super Stock, you could just run the same shock as you could run in all classes. Yeah, there was no price cap.
There was no price cap before, but they've introduced one now.
Yeah.
The superbikes are unaffected, but all the other classes now, they've limited the price. I can't remember what it is exactly, but yeah, they've dropped it quite a lot. So we've got to have two different versions of shock to meet the price cap. So that one's the more expensive one, and then what you'll end up running later in the year when it's ready, because we should be ready for about middle of Feb.
Yeah, for testing. So basically what that means is I've got some shocks currently now, so that are in my 600s that are well, we're just going to have to get changed in. Can you change an R6 shock in to fit something else?
You can, yeah.
So they'll get changed in to either fit the Superbike shock, because they're the high spec one as well. And then I've got another super stock BMW shock. I don't think it can get changed though, can it?
No, that one's too long. It's too long.
It's too long to fit anything else. So basically, they've done it to try and save money, but for people like us that already have the suspension and stuff, it's a little bit of a pain in the ass, because now I have to go and buy new kits and new shocks just because of the rule cap. So yeah, a little bit frustrating, but it is what it is.
Seated properly.
What, that little ping noise?
I think that's why the seal hadn't gone in as far as it should, because the bush weren't all the way in.
So whoever built it didn't do it.
Yeah, it could have been out of the factory, to be fair.
Yeah. Sorted.
See what I mean? See how big the gap is from the clip to the f***ing seal? It should just fly in and out. You shouldn't be struggling with them. You've got fucking flies on it still.
If you could do any job in your job, what's your favourite thing?
Any job in my job?
Yeah, do you know, like this, putting fork kits in, building shocks.
Some of the dyno work's quite good. Can be quite interesting. Sometimes it's frustrating, and when you're trying to solve a problem.
What was you mean with them forks that are in there now?
Yeah, just things like that. Just when you're trying to get to the bottom of something, it's quite nice once you do it. Sometimes the process of getting there can be soul destroying, but
that's the seals in, both of them now, so we are ready for first cartridge. Do you have a would you put which one in first, or you're not bothered? Yeah.
As long as it's in the correct leg.
So left side is?
Left side's always compression.
Yeah.
Right side's always rebound. So normally you either put a bit of grease or a little bit of oil just on the thread there, just so it's not quite as dry, because that can make the torque a little bit inaccurate. But yeah,
so when you tighten it up, you mean
the friction can mess the torque up. But what I was on about earlier being a through rod, is that rod, when it goes in, it comes straight out the bottom. I don't know if you can see that down there, probably not.
Not with the camera, no.
But basically,
yeah, so it's not going into anything, it's not like a block chamber.
Exactly, yeah. So there's no separation piston needs to move. The rod just goes in and out, and it's real simple, it's nice.
Yeah.
You can build the cartridge outside the fork as well, because you can bleed it up. It's a completely sealed unit. Pretty nice to work on. Nice and simple to fit as well. You just literally...
What you mean is it's nicer than Olin's to work on.
No comment.
There is other brands available.
And then just slide that in there. Tighten her up.
So if someone had the tools at home, could they do this?
We wouldn't.
No,
we wouldn't condone it.
No.
But this kit, to be fair, is a lot more simple to fit than previous kits we've done.
Yeah.
Because it's already bled, it's already assembled. You can just literally screw it in. So it's a lot more simple than, say, the DDS, which you have to bleed it inside the fork and you need loads of special tools, all that kind of thing. This one's a lot more.
So now you've literally just thread that in and you're just going to torque it up now to the...
That's it, and you just need to set the air gap, and then that's ready to roll.
So the air gap is also the oil level in...
That's it, yeah.
It doesn't get confusing, but some people say... Why do some people say oil level and some people say air gap?
No,
so basically the oil level is from the bottom up, yeah? And the air gap then is the remaining part of the thing. So you can, it's basically, because it's in a sealed unit, it's either one percentage or the other. I don't know if that makes sense or not, but yeah, so same thing. Some people say air gap, some people say oil level. And then the same process leg, again, just in the...
And this is the rebound leg, and you can tell because it's got the natural colour. That's always our colour for rebound.
But the caps are the same as well, so obviously you've got... Rebound is the same natural colour as he's just said in the thing, and then the compression leg has always got a black, see a little compression top on it.
That's it. That's the go. So then all we need to do is set the air gap.
Or the oil level.
Yeah, or the oil level.
So what you do now, you put a bit more in than you think and then put the sucker on?
So you'll overfill it pretty much all the way up to the top. Give it a chance to settle. Make sure the oil's gone into every
crevice
nook and cavity it's going to go into, and then you basically just suck out the oil you don't want
back to the correct level.
To the correct level, yeah, and then that's you. I mean, you don't need to, but you can move it up and down just to make sure it's
the
where it wants to be. So that's good. So then you get your air gap tool, and you just set the length.
This is a little, so he said air gap tool, so he's going to set the level now as to what he wants the air gap to be at. Drops that down. This has got a sucker system on it. And he just pulls the, well, you're going to see right now.
Basically it just sucks the air and the oil out back in the jug. And then this has to go down the side of the cartridge. It's a bit of a squeeze sometimes, but it's in there. There you go. So that's the level set. So then all you need to do is put the spring in. Do you know what spring rate you want?
Tens, 9.5s, 10s, what have you got? Yeah, so it's going to be, 9.75, well, put 2 10s in it probably.
That's a 9.5 there.
Yeah.
You can use that if you want. Or what do you reckon? It's up to you. We can make a note of it.
Yeah. Put a 9 in, 9.5 and a 10 in, and then it'll be 9. Yeah, so sometimes people say, oh, like the weight of the spring, so we call it as a 9 or a 9.5 or a 10. But that's meaning Newton meters,
Newton millimeters.
Newton millimeters is the weight of the spring or the pressure.
Whatever the rate of the spring is, that's how much force it takes to squash the spring 1 millimeter. So if it's 9.5, it's 9.5 newtons for 1 millimeter of travel.
9.5 Newton meters for 1 millimeter of travel. I've just learned something today. That's what the spring means. Yeah, he's going to go get some more springs. So we'll, like say, so if I said to like Roger, my engineer, I wouldn't say this, but we need it to be 9.75. You don't normally get a 9.75 spring. Really, you'd put a 9.5 on one side and a 10 in the other, and then because they're locked in the yoke, then that makes it to be 9.75. So yeah, he's just going to grab some springs. We'll put the springs in, and then we are ready to rock. He'll list them up, he'll label them up, what springs is in, what oil levels in, the compression stack, the rebound stack, because you can obviously change all them shims and stuff that are inside both of them, label them all up, so then once we go test and we know what we're setting off with, and well, it'll probably get changed before then, but we know what's in it now, we know what we're going to go with, and then go from there. James has actually just turned around and told me that this Tommy Searle bike is actually the bike he's won the championship on. And it's been sat here ever since. So, random fact. It's a British Championship MX. I'm going to say MX2. Is that what the big class is called? MX2 British Championship winning Honda CRF 450. Right, so springs in, top caps on.
A little bit of grease on the O-ring. A little bit on the thread as well, never hurts. You don't want that picking up in the middle of the session when you're trying to change it. And then just before the O-ring goes in, it's always good to fully extend the fork, just so that the air volume's correct, so it's always consistent. That's it. Give that a little nip up in the vise. That's it.
Finito.
She's ready to go.
Just need to get some K-Tec stickers now over the Olan's ones.
It's ready to go.
Sweet. Most important part of the whole job.
Yeah.
You reckon this gives you like a second a lap just having the sticker on?
Normally, yeah.
Yeah.
Between 1 and 2.
You got any more stickers?
Depends if you're in the Inters group or not.
Oh yeah. Do you reckon you could put any more stickers on for me? Why have you got your tongue out for? There we go. Finito. New tops on. The only difference you can see by looking at the fork is obviously the sticker on the bottom and then the new tops on. Spot on. Thank you very much, James.
No problem, mate.
Appreciate that. Right. that is us done. Thanks to always to K-Tec for sorting that out, because they obviously had other people booked in and stuff, and I've probably jumped the queue again as per normal, but James has looked after me. He's gonna grab my shock now as well, and we are going to hit the road. I just want to say a big thanks to K-Tec for obviously doing this today and letting me come here, letting me video and supporting the team for so long. And thanks to you guys once again for watching. Please don't forget to like and subscribe, because it helps the channel, helps me out, and yeah, still make some more content. Thanks as always. Take care guys, bye.